Today, we are going to be taking the RK9 all the way to the coveted round 50. Let's get into this shit. Alright, hello and welcome back, you absolute losers. So, here we are once again with taking every single SMG in Black Ops 7 to round 50. This time around on Nuked Survival. All that being said, we are going to get straight into the setup process. So, on round 5, getting Pack-a-Punch 1, and then getting Jug, and then moving on to getting Green Rarity, and then the rest of our first 4 perks being Quick Revive, I believe Deadshot, and Vulture Raid as well, and then moving on to getting Blue Rarity, and then Pack-a-Punch Tier 2. Purple Rarity is up next. Pack-a-Punch Tier 3, and the finale, Legendary Rarity with some fireworks to help clear out the hordes a little bit, the, higher up in the rounds we get. So, let's jump straight into the positives of the RK9. Now, full disclosure, I really did not like this gun, at all when I was leveling it up. However, when I was leveling it up, I was playing on Totenreich, and I don't know, it might just be burst guns, I don't know, but I swear burst guns have a really, really hard time dealing with the Necro Pincer. They just don't deal damage to his shield whenever you're shooting at it, or they have a very hard time registering. But now that we're on Nuke Survival, honestly, this thing's got a lot of positives. It has a very fast fire rate, depending on the build you have, which you obviously saw mine in the video, earlier in the video. And it's got a very fast fire rate, and it is a burst. I don't think there's a full auto attachment at all. But when you got double tap on and increased fire rate, this thing basically shoots, if you're spamming the trigger, right, it basically shoots like it's full auto. And I think we were dealing a max with the augments I have on and the build, 13,000 damage at a max bullet, which is really, really good for an SMG, right? So, and with the extended mag on, dude, we have 100 and something rounds in it. That's a lot of ammo for an SMG, especially one that's a burst. Most burst weapons, in at least in my experience, don't really hold that much ammo when pack-a-punched. So it's nice to see that. So those are the positives, right? You can it basically is full burst. It deals a lot of damage for an SMG up close. Obviously, you need to be within that distance, and it holds a lot of ammo. And the negatives, basically, as with every single SMG, are that you need to get up in the zombies' faces to be dealing your maximum potential. If you do not like getting in zombies' faces, SMGs are simply not for you, right? I personally don't like using SMGs. I don't like getting in zombies' faces. However, that's kind of what this whole series is about, is taking every single gun in the game to round 50. So regardless of if I like it or not, I have to use it. And drop-off actually seemed a bit later than usual, like 43, 44. Now, if we're talking base zombies, I feel like this thing kind of shreds, but this is probably one of the weakest SMGs to armor. I don't know if that's true. However, based off subjective experience, me playing the game, it felt the worst out of all the SMGs to armor, in my humble opinion. But base zombies, it shreds. So those are pretty much the negatives of it. With every SMG, you need to get up in their face. The drop-off is a bit later than all the other SMGs, but I feel like this one does the worst compared to armor. So the time to kill on armored zombies is worse, but the time to kill on regular zombies seems like it shreds, in my opinion. But, as always, we did eventually hit the coveted round 50. So, statistics will be up on your screen. So, in conclusion, it's got some pretty good positives. I think it's one of the better SMGs, actually. Now, it depends on the map. If you're playing Totenreich, you're going to have a hard time dealing with the Necro Pincers. I don't know about the other maps. However, on Nuke Survival at least, and probably to the same extent of Paradox Junction, because the only other thing you have to deal with is Mimics, which are not really that tanky anyway. This is an all-around pretty good SMG, due to the fact that, yes, it is a burst, but you can basically virtually make it almost full auto. But, as always, appreciate you coming out, spending a little bit of your time with me today. I do truly appreciate it. And, as always, hope you guys have a fucking good one.